The Young and the Restless spoilers Wednesday full episodes June 11, 2025 in the glittering prelude to what promises to be Genoa City's most audacious social event in years, alliances are being tested, secrets are fermenting beneath polite smiles, and every whispered strategy carries the weight of tomorrow's headlines. Victor Newman, whose name alone commands boardrooms and social registers alike, has summoned Audra Charles into his private office under the guise of a late-night review of Newman Enterprises' quarterly projections. But make no mistake, this is no routine meeting. As the mahogany door closes behind her and the city's hum recedes to a distant murmur, Victor fixes Audra with those steely eyes that have toppled rivals and forged empires. His voice is calm, but the strain of barely contained urgency vibrates beneath each syllable. "You have a responsibility," he tells her, "to ensure Kyle Abbott accompanies you to Nice. This is not a social courtesy, this is a strategic imperative." Audra, ever the consummate strategist herself, inclines her head, though her heart pounds with the knowledge that the stakes extend far beyond any business merger or shareholder vote. She understands, as Victor so rarely needs to spell out, that by escorting Kyle to Aristotle Dumas's chateau, she will be planting the Abbott scion at the center of Dumas's sphere of influence, an influence carefully cultivated to challenge Newman Enterprises' supremacy. Across town, a quiet drama unfolds in the sunlit confines of the Newman compound, where Claire Newman wrestles with a decision that could change everything. News has spread, half rumor, half official notice, that Kyle Abbott, propelled by Audra's subtle persuasion and her father's insistence, stands poised to accept an invitation to France. To Claire's surprise, her initial instinct is one of genuine happiness. She knows Kyle's presence in Nice will lend legitimacy to Audra's mission, perhaps even shield the Abbotts from Victor's most ruthless reprisals. Yet beneath that warm well-wishing lies a flicker of uncertainty, for Claire senses that she, too, is a piece on a grander chessboard. And so she grants what passes for her blessing, a quiet nod, a soft smile, a whispered "do what you must," even as her mind races with the possibilities, both of newfound alliances and of betrayals yet to be revealed. Meanwhile, the rumor mill achieves fever pitch as Genoa City's 9-to-5 set, celebrities, socialites, power brokers, and a handful of soap opera icons prepare to descend upon the French Riviera for the opening night of the Grand Dumas Gala. Will the true identity of the host finally slip into the light, or will Aristotle Dumas remain wrapped in the enigma that has both intrigued and unsettled all who have encountered his name? The invitations themselves are a master class in high society seduction, gilded-edged cards bearing a minimalist crest, promising an evening of unparalleled elegance and discreet conversation. Those in the know whisper that the chateau's terrace offers a panoramic view of the Mediterranean under a canopy of stars, while the ancient wine cellars, where Audra once met her husband in secret, still harbor the echoes of conspiratorial whispers. Yet not everyone will find the atmosphere entirely carefree. Victor Newman will watch from the shadows of the VIP lounge, his glass of rare Bordeaux untouched, as he evaluates every gesture, every glance exchanged between guests. He will mark which executives lean too closely toward the Dumas cause and which old guard allies maintain a respectful distance. His vigilant gaze will rest longer on the newcomer, Kyle Abbott, whose quiet confidence in dark evening wear betrays no sign of hesitation, yet whose presence alone could tip the scales of loyalty within Victor's own circle. While France prepares to host this carnival of intrigue, back home Genoa City's own drama refuses to pause. YNR Weekly Scoop insiders report that Daniel Romolotti, veteran everyman and cafe owner extraordinaire, will be caught utterly off guard by the return of two beloved figures, Danny Romolotti Jr. and Christine Blair. Witnesses at Crimson Lights describe Daniel's jaw-dropping as the pair step through the door, Daniel Jr. sporting the same mischievous grin that once drove his father to distraction, and Christine's warm embrace pulling both men into an emotional reunion. Their arrival upends the routine of the local coffee shop and sends ripples through the community, as patrons who have grown accustomed to Daniel's quiet resilience see in this family reunion a testament to hope and reconciliation. Yet in the midst of the tears and laughter, Sally Spectra, ever the quick-witted fashionista, emerges to extinguish any smoldering discord with her trademark blend of humor and compassion, offering words of encouragement to Daniel and to every customer who lingers at the counter seeking solace in a latte. And Chelsea Lawson, whose savvy business sense has made her a trusted confidant of many, prepares to seek Nikki Newman's counsel on a matter of the heart, a decision that could alter Chelsea's path in both her career and her personal life. All of these threads. Victor's command to Audra, Claire's reluctant blessing, Kyle's reluctant acceptance, Daniel's tearful reunion, Sally's peacemaking, and Chelsea's whispered confessions, are weaving together in anticipation of the gala at Dumas's chateau. Will the fortress-like walls of the estate really conceal the secrets of a man who has assumed a new identity to wage war on Newman Enterprises? Or will the floodlights of society's prying lenses force Aristotle Dumas to reveal the face behind the phony veneer, unleashing a spectacle that will reverberate from Nice to Genoa City? One thing is certain: when the chandeliers sparkle under the French sky and the strains of a live orchestra drift across manicured gardens, every hidden motive will be laid bare, every allegiance tested, and the game of power will enter its most perilous round yet. Stay glued to your screens, soap opera aficionados, for the night of nights is upon us, and in the drama-laden world of the young and the restless, the next twist is always just a masquerade away. In the hallowed corridors of Genoa City's elite social scene, rumors now swirl with the intensity of a summer storm as word spreads that Phyllis Summers, ever the provocateur, ever the wild card, has, at last, secured her invitation to Aristotle Dumas's fabled Riviera celebration. The news struck like a thunderclap for many. Phyllis, whose alliances have long shifted like quicksilver between love, revenge, and ambition, now finds herself formally acknowledged by the very man whose identity remains wrapped in enigma. It was at the GCAC charity gala where Sharon Newman, clad in understated elegance, first encountered Nick amid the soft glow of crystal chandeliers. With measured calm, Sharon confessed that she might forego the French excursion he so eagerly anticipated. Mariah Copeland's delicate health, she admitted, weighed heavily upon her heart, and her maternal instinct urged her to remain close should her daughter need her. Nick's forced smile faltered for the briefest moment. This trip, he believed, would solidify alliances and defy Dumas's designs, yet Sharon's prioritization of family struck a chord even in his controlled pragmatism. Before he could muster a reply, Phyllis herself appeared at Sharon's side, her lips curving into a triumphant smirk as she disclosed the news. "Gentlemen, ladies," she announced, voice low yet brimming with delight, "I, too, have been invited to the fete at Chateau Dumas." The subtle pivot was undeniable. Sharon's resolve wavered, replaced by intrigue tinged with apprehension. Would she now reconsider her decision and join the delegation bound for the sun-drenched shores of Nice? Only time would tell. Meanwhile, the sudden, heartwarming return of Danny Romolotti Jr. and Christine Blair to Genoa City added another dramatic layer. Daniel Romolotti, husband, father, and stalwart cafe proprietor, had his world upended when two familiar figures strode through Crimson Light's doors, sparking tears of joy and a flood of memories among loyal patrons. As Daniel Jr. delivered an impish grin that mirrored his father's own youthful audacity, and as Christine embraced them both, the coffee house resonated with laughter and soft applause. Sally Spectra, ever the fashion plate and peacemaker extraordinaire, deftly extinguished any lingering tensions, while Chelsea Lawson muted excitement in her eyes, prepared to seek Nikki Newman's counsel on a confidential matter. Perhaps, insiders whispered, an urgent decision that would shape her personal or professional horizon. These strands: Phyllis's strategic gain, Sharon's maternal dilemma, Danny and Christine's heartfelt homecoming, Sally's quick-witted intervention, and Chelsea's private intrigue, wove together into a tapestry of anticipation that pulsed with energy far beyond the confines of Genoa City. For as the city braced itself, all signs pointed to a grand spectacle unfolding across the sea. The Dumas Gala, a weekend of high-stakes social maneuvering set against the glittering Mediterranean backdrop, rumored to commence not on Friday the 13th as grapevines once claimed, but during the lavish days between June 16th and 20th. Preparations for the soirée at Chateau Dumas have assumed mythic proportions. Invitations, simple yet regal, bearing an embossed crest of two entwined serpents, arrived in gilded envelopes that seemed to promise both unrivaled glamour and whispered confessions. Caterers vied for contracts to provide truffle canapés and champagne vintages selected by the host himself, while security experts were discreetly retained to vet guests and ensure no unwanted surprises. Gossip columns speculate incessantly. Will Aristotle Dumas finally step into view and reveal the face behind the alias, or will he remain hidden behind masks and veils, allowing curiosity to simmer? Backstage murmurs hint at a coup d'etat of insider casting, the newly surfaced clues. That Billy Flynn, the familiar and handsome presence best known to daytime audiences, will portray Dumas, have electrified soap opera devotees. Yet the true shock lies not in the actor's participation, but in the revelation that Dumas is none other than Cain Ashby reborn in opulence and vengeance. The man who once vanished under a cloud of scandal and grief has returned as a meticulously reinvented tycoon, his old identity buried beneath the marble halls and moonlit gardens of the chateau. Whispers abound that Phyllis's invitation was no minor concession but a calculated move. By embracing her, Cain gains an invaluable asset, her tenacity in uncovering truths, her capacity for loyalty when it serves her interests, and her flair for seizing dramatic control of any situation. Yet even Phyllis, whose survival instincts are legendary, must reckon with the scale of this deception. Lily Winters, who believed she had finally laid Cain's memory to rest, will be among the first incendiary reactions when she crosses paths with the phantom of her lost husband at the party. Her grief and fury, once tempered by years of healing, now threatened to erupt into a conflagration that could consume every fragile alliance in attendance. As June's sun arcs across the Côte d'Azur sky, the international jet set will descend in jeweled gowns and custom-tailored tuxedos, while whispers of corporate takeovers blend with the hum of a grand string quartet. Kyle Abbott, chosen by Audra under Victor's directive, will arrive in Nice bearing the weight of his family's legacy and the subtle promise that his presence alone signals a silent challenge to Newman Enterprises. He, too, will stand at the threshold of revelation, uncertain whether to extend a hand of allegiance to his former foes or to seize the mantle of Roguer in a drama of his own making. In the salons of Nice, alliances will be formed over crystal flutes of rose, and betrayals sown in the hush of private verandas. Somewhere in the labyrinth of corridors hidden behind tapestry-lined walls, clandestine meetings will unfold. Former friends turned adversaries, corporate lions turned lambs, and phantoms of past loves ready to confront the specter of Cain's ultimate con. As Hassan Court and the Jardin d'Oliviers prepare to host soirees within the greater Dumas estate, Genoa City's finest will be tested as never before. Who among them will stand resolute when Aristotle, revealed at last, declares war on the very foundation of Newman power? Who will crumble under the weight of long-buried betrayals laid bare by video whispers and recorded conversations subtly planted by Audra's infiltration? And what role will Sharon ultimately play, as her moral compass spins between her responsibilities as a mother and the inexorable pull of history repeating itself on foreign soil? Lily Winters, with her indomitable spirit, will almost certainly confront upright truth face to face, her tears of shock giving way to righteous indignation, and perhaps even a vow of retribution. Phyllis, master of reinvention, may find that her invitation is both her greatest triumph and her most dangerous gamble. Daniel and Christine, having returned to their hometown to find new meaning in family ties, may discover that the past they left behind is not ready to release them so easily. And Chelsea Lawson, ever the confidant, may realize that the counsel she seeks from Nikki could tip the scales in unexpected ways, aligning her with friends or foes in the crucible of Riviera drama. As the week of June 16 unspools, the world will watch with bated breath. Will Aristotle Dumas's charade shatter like fine glass under the strain of truth, or will his grand masquerade endure, leaving Newman Enterprises rent asunder in his wake? In a saga defined by shifting alliances, clandestine missions, and the relentless pursuit of power, the Dumas Gala promises to be a breathtaking crescendo, one that will echo long after the Riviera's waves have reclaimed their nightly hush. So prepare your backstage scoops and set your alerts, soap opera aficionados, When the lights illuminate Chateau Dumas's terraced grandeur and the final mask falls, nothing in Genoa City will ever be the same.